Hello, my name is Yusuf Nurma. I'm the creator of the Project Africa. There's lots of questions how we are going to do it, what we are going to do, what we are doing. So I try to answer these questions with this video, as I have been already answered with many other videos and texts before. But let's go ahead and going through things once again. Project Africa is doing many things at the same time for to end the poverty in Africa. It's not the easy case, as everyone know very clearly, and because during 100 years there is organizations and things that kind of worked in the case. Usually, this organization works only in the case that they want to make money. Charity organizations is big business. It's $1 trillion business. You have UNICEF, United Nations, Red Cross, and they're making it billions. And according to the law, about 7-8% need to go to the one in needs. The big bosses is making millions per year in salaries. So we know that this is not good. This won't be helping anyone more than these leaders and on the top in these charities. As you see, I'm an ordinary guy, but I have lots of experience in finance as well, and real estate, international real estate. I've been working in financial deals for up to $200 billion US. And so this is nothing special in this case. I've been planning during 2017, 2018 this Project Africa with people that I have been meeting, and mainly these people is from DRC. And the questions was, of course, how is possible that a country that is exporting nearly 60% or 65% of all diamonds in the world have poverty. So it come up with these questions, and so I only put together the technology from different parts of the world, so for to find a solution for the problem. It's actually it's not hard because the solution already existed for 10-15 years, so it has always been there. The thing is that like you see, my suit and my tie and my Bugatti bicycle over there is not made by my charity. I will never be. So my charity is not out after to do business to make loads of money, so I can live in the castle, drive my Bugatti, and have other Bugattis for kids and things like that. Our work is very simple. That we work for a final solution. So in the Project Africa, we're going through these things now. There's different parts. We are here in Spain now. We are here about 2 more weeks, this place. Then we are out on the street. So we don't have any place to be, any place to operate and things like that. And so we need to find some solution for that. So that's why we are working on fundraising to get funds to get a place to stay and continue our operation. So what we're doing here in Spain, we are giving information to African countries about the reality in being a refugee. The reality to be a refugee, to escape your country and don't care about the problem, leave the problems to everyone else in your country. So letting them fight and die for the problem, you escape. So maybe in your mind, in your illusion, you have been seeing some marketing or propaganda from so-called criminal organizations that telling that Europe need you. Europe need you and your family. Europe need workers. Europe need refugees. Here in Europe is waiting. Everything is prepared for you. You have a house, you have a car, you have food, and loads of money. Everything you need. You don't need to be worried of anything. That is your illusion. That is what they have been telling you. The reality, what we are telling you, is the reality. First of all, your trip from here to other part of Africa to get to the border is not this large. It is huge. It is very huge. So most probably you never in your lifetime have been in as large trip as this. This is why many are starting to walk, they're starting bicycling, they're starting hitchhiking, they're starting to move in a very manual way because they think that the trip is very small. Tomorrow I'm in Morocco. Yeah, now I'm in Central Africa. I will be walking. On the map is only this, so it won't be taking a long time. So by the evening I should be there. It's very simple. The trip is very large and super and very dangerous. When you're starting the trip, you'll be met by robbers, rapists, slave handle, and many criminal organizations that want you. They want you on board. So some people fall into these organizations, some people continue, and some get to the halfway, 3-4 months traveling to get there, and still not get there, not even halfway. So they give up and go to the criminal organization and join them. And then the people that have luck or money get to the border in Morocco. Then it's the trick to get over to the other side, because you don't have any paper, you don't have any visa, you don't have any permissions. So in the other side, to get there, they building up groups. There's always one clever that organizes these things. Usually this so-called clever is part of a group that is planning this. So they help you to get over to the other side illegally. So on the other side, you go to a meeting point with all others that have helped you to get over. The meeting point usually is a refugee camps or refugee center. There's waiting criminal organization representatives for criminal organizations. Of course, they tell that they are refugees for other countries, but they will help you. They will help you with money. They will help you with everything you think, believe. Of course, they won't be saying to you that, hey, we are criminals. We are going to make money with you. No, that's not the case. They'll be helping with polite too, and it's very easy that after that kind of trip can take 3-4 months or 6 months, and you are completely tired, but you're happy that you're in Europe. Now you're out of funds, you're out of food, you're out of everything. So it's very easy that you fall into these criminal organizations. Here is where you end your life. This is the end point in your life. So now when you join the criminal organization, you start your life as a slavery. Now you're a slave of a criminal organizations. And usually these life point don't last for a long time. Usually a year or less, being shot or being used too much drugs or anything that criminal organizations do. You're obligated to make robberies every day. You living in a small flat with 20 people. There's only 10 beds, so 10 beds with 20 people. You work in shifts. So when the others is sleeping, you're working. So you have others that are sleeping in your bed when you're working. So your work, of course, is to find victims to robbery, to sell drugs, to transport drugs, distribute drugs, to make crimes. This is your work. End up in jail. And when you end up in jail, you meet other people that maybe is from other group, other criminal group that beat you up or kill you. These kind of things can happen. So, is it worth to leave your country, your family, and all your relatives from your country for your life like this? Is this what you want? Is your idea that you will escape to make money, to support your family? So what about when you are dead? Who's going to support them? There's no insurance company that will make any contract with you that when you're dying, they will pay your family insurance. So it's very important to see the reality. Don't escape your country. Stay in your country. Project Africa is a humanitarian organization. We work to do things humanitarian. We are absolutely not racists. We hate racism. Black, yellow, red, white, we all is same value. It's only that different colors. We all had two hands, one head. Someone had less things in here, and someone has more. So they escape your country and leave your problems there is not the solution. The solution is that you stay and fight for your rights with the other people in your country and with the other international organizations that operate in your country. So support this organization and support us to for your country. That will make a future in your country and for your people. So other thing that we working on is also to have to grow our organization with volunteers and to have volunteers in Ceuta and Melilla, in the frontiers areas, and to inform refugees that coming over the border, to inform that what may happen and what is the future if they join these criminal organizations. If they join the criminal organizations, the future may be very short. So we recommend this we try to find out the solution in our organization for hopefully find a way to these refugees to return to where they come from, but so they get some money to return to the come from. We have a security system that we have in place, so same refugee cannot use same help twice or three times, because many say that they're coming again, tomorrow they are again. You gave them money and to return, tomorrow they are again. But in our system it doesn't work. They cannot come again. because we have a security system that makes that we recognize them always, and they don't need to have papers. It's not a question of that. So we are working on this to get information to these people, get them back to the country. We try also to work with the European Union and the governments in Spain also to find a way that is possible to pay and get them back to the country, pay the tickets for flight tickets or whatever, so they can go back to the country. This is very important. So now to the main part of our work. Main part of our work is to end the poverty. To end the poverty, we have a solution from Sweden. Okay, Sweden is not known as a poverty or a poor country, but the solution is there. And poor countries has also copied or want to copy these solutions. The idea is cashless economy. The cashless economy is perfect for Africa and just now. Cashless economy is not too hard to build up because you have today technology that you can use, 10-15 years old technology that you can use in Africa. And this is because technology in Africa is already old. It's 10 years old or 10 years behind us here in West. So and the system need to be very light because it cannot be too complicated, because if it's too complicated you need more resources, and if it's too complicated it need much more money to buy and to use. So we have the idea to introduce cashless economy in 24 poor countries and in Africa, and at the moment we are in 12 countries. We have boards and members in 12 countries, and the transparent cashless economy, as they have in Sweden, is the perfect example and the perfect for Africa, because first of all, today the government doesn't have any control over the money. Some governments doesn't have even money to make new money, to print new money, and some governments is really complete bankrupt out of money. So this is perfect for these countries, because now they don't need to print any money. Also, that in Africa cashless economy is already in use. People use the mobile phones because if you have money on you, what will happen? Someone will cut in your head and take your money. The price of a life in Africa is nothing. So that is why people are using the mobile systems to top up mobile with money and money in mobile. And this is what people want to use. The thing is that only that the connection between a bank account and a mobile doesn't exist. So our idea is to make a cashless system, not completely cashless, of course, but 30-40% will be cash in use, the rest will be cashless. Going to do it, this is very easy. In the country they changed the cash, and all old money and cash need to be changed to go to bank and change them, and the banks need to open up accounts for the people and connect mobile bank accounts for the people. And this is easy and cheap, because the bank doesn't need to make any more than spread an app, and no need for plastic cards or anything like that as they are using today. And then make a payment system, as there is already existing payment system in many countries in Africa. They pay by mobile, but now they pay with their money from their account directly to the mobile. and to the clients. So this is not too hard as it sounds like. I've been talking with Finnish people from my country, Finland, about the technology, how it's possible to do this and things like that. And it's coming lots of ideas and lots of things that how this will be done. And I'm very happy for this, and hopefully that this will start to roll soon in Africa, so we get these things and collaboration to work directly. It is professional businesses and companies that has been done this before and work on this before. So for me, in the beginning, it sounds very big, because if you look what you need today to introduce a cashless economy, for example in India, you need a huge capacity, network capacity and things like that. That doesn't exist in Africa. You don't have network capacity in Africa. So we need to build a light version of it, and the light version we can use in Africa. And it doesn't need much network capacity at all, because it doesn't use graphical system and using light security system, and is mainly crypted text-based system. So it will be using much less of the network. Of course, the network capacity need to be wider, and I've been in contact with Airtel about this and see if they have interest to build out and collaborate with us. Still no answer from Airtel India and Airtel Africa. So we'll see in the future if we get some answer from them. There's other telephone companies as well, but I think Airtel is one of the biggest. So when we have the cashless economy, transparent cashless economy, now the government get full control over the money. We can say that Mr. President in the country, he has a screen. So in the screen, he can see each transaction of each person in the entire country. So yes, they have now control over the money. So what will happen if they are taking money that doesn't belong to them? This is a transparent cashless economy. You can take an example from Sweden. Some political has been using a taxi from the nightclub to home with the government card. Next day, the headlines is full of that they have been paying $20 with the government card to take a taxi from the nightclub or restaurant or whatever to their home. So this is transparent cashless economy. This gives the power of the economy to the people, to where it belongs to, because you people in your country, you are the one that make the money. Political doesn't make money, because they don't produce money. It's you people that produce the money. So of course the power of the economy to see who is using the money, who is using your money that you have been paying to the government, need to be the power in the people's hands. So when you see a corrupt political hitting 1 million in his pockets, the system print out that on the website, and you will see that this is taking 1 million for himself. So people are starting to question and ask what's happening, and why this is happening, and if it's a corrupt political and don't have the permission for this, then the people can put the person in justice, or next election, remember that person take that money that doesn't belong to him. He's a thief, he's a scammer. So this is a very important factor in Africa. Other is as well that we know that 80 to 90% of the businesses in Africa doesn't pay taxes. So the thing is in Africa is that Africa need to stop to let companies, international companies and businesses, to use them, to abuse them. Businesses need to pay taxes, and this is extremely important. They need to pay permission for exportation. They need to pay license fees for mining or activity, same way that they do in their own countries. So this is very important. American miners, Chinese miners and things like that, they need to pay for their activity. So the payment is not that they are building, to Mr. President, a new castle or village, or they get a bank account in a tax-free country or Switzerland. That is not the way. The way is that everything needs to benefit the people. So we try to work that everything will benefit the people. People are asking us how you gonna work with the political leaders. Political leaders love power and love money. As the situation now in many African countries is that the leaders actually doesn't have the money they wish to have. The leaders doesn't have the power over the money as they wish to have. So by cashless economy, we will get creating a safe economical haven in the country. This will bring in investors, international investors, to start manufacturing, to build up the country, and because now it's secure. Now you have a secure economic environment. This make that international companies will be interested in Africa more than ever. This will create a revenue, a tax revenue, and maybe 100 times or 1,000 times more than today, or in some countries like Malawi or somewhere can be many times more than this. The tax revenue, of course, from the 80-90% of the business that doesn't pay the taxes will now pay automatically, because the cashless economy taking this automatically when there's transactions to the bank accounts. The government system, cashless system, take and pay to the government automatically before the money goes to the account. But this, when a country go so much better, then we know that this benefit all. It benefit the political leaders, benefit the president, benefit everyone. Because now, of course, they will have access or the possibility to get more paid, but not only more paid, the people in the country will like them, and the people won't be escaping the country, because this gives them the possibility to live in the country when they're building up the country with this money. And also this with the more tax revenue will give the possibility to pay out a citizen salary for each one in the country. So with the citizen salary, we will kill the poverty. So if we pay $100 to each person, each citizen, then they have everything they need. So now you that looking in USA or Europe, $100 is nothing. You cannot pay anything with $100. Yes, here in Europe and USA, you cannot pay anything with $100. It's nothing. But in Africa, there's people that are living with less than $20 a month. Less than $20 a month. There is people that living with 50 cents per month, per day. So in a few cents per day. Is different, the prices in our world than it is in Africa. So it's very important that we keep the numbers and the figures. We concentrate that we are talking about Africa. We are not talking about Europe or USA in this case. So this is a way that when we created cashless economy, it will bring huge revenue to the government by investor building up, and the government taking fees for taking payments for the businesses to use their country and to build up building license, mining license, mining permissions, land permissions, everything. We like also to make it even better. There's lots of things that will be making better, because we in Project Africa, we are going also to build up the country and organize things in the country to build up things. So the most important is that the government get as fast as possible tax revenue that make it possible to pay out $100 for each citizen that is poor. How we know who is poor and who is not? The cashless economy, no. So each one's bank accounts and each one's money is in the system. So the cashless economy select who's the poor one and pay to the poor one, and when the poor is getting richer or getting better, then stop the payment. So that is very easy. So this everything is kind of automatic. So this is what Africa needs, and this is the way that we want to start in Africa. To continue, we are talking about vertical farming camps that make it possible to nearly free get food production. We are talking about 3D printed construction, to use old mining areas, the mining caves that we have a little bit everywhere in around Africa, and inside these mining caves to put the batteries for the solar power, and also part of the solar power in the small part in the middle will be producing water. It will produce over millions of liters of waters every night. So now we get use of these huge cave area. We tap them with solar panels, and we put the battery park inside, and so it's protected against heat, and the water tanks inside as well. So the water will be conserved inside, and from the same pipeline going to the villages. Other thing is also that these caves, the things that they have been digging out, is somewhere. So we want to use these rest materials from the caves to clean it and to use it for 3D printing construction. And now we have a solar panel and water. Then we need to connect that to a 3D construction printer that's starting to print houses or printing materials for pre-construction, the plates that needing for pre-construction houses. So then we have also the Chinese construction model that you can build a 60-floor building for in 3 weeks. So we are going to use lots of these systems put together. Also industrial areas. For example, we know that Siemens, a German company, is into 3D manufacturing. So we like these kind of companies into Africa and make manufacturing and like robotic manufacturing. So we are planning to make the industrial area, and over that tap it with solar panel area, and also possible with wind energy. The thing is that this will keep, if you build this in this desert, in the desert, then you have a manufacturing area, you have the energy production area that will be enough to cool down the industrial area and to give the energy to the industry. So this is one way, and the new cities that we'll plan to build up with the Chinese system, the skyscrapers that build up skyscrapers, and inside the skyscrapers is planned to have vertical farms. The skyscraper will be pretty much the same way that we're going to say when as in USA, that you have everything in the same building. You have nursery, you have childcare, you have school, you have office, the work area, you have the building, the residential area. So everything in the same building is planned. Also, the buildings will be having solar panels, so they will be producing electricity as well. So the plans is very big, but is the cost solution, the cost to do, because now when you have solar panel, you have the free raw material, free energy. So only you need is the printing machines. So printer machines is $100,000. If you have $100,000, can print 1 million houses, small ones, for example, 30 square meter. But you can build lots of pre-building materials to build skyscrapers or whatever, or large houses. One thing that we want also is to build social living areas. That is something that, for example, here in Spain, they failed completely. Social living areas will be for people that don't have money for living, or don't have relatives, or relatives doesn't want them to come, or nothing with them. So social living areas will be free areas to live, so people can live there for free, eat food and get food for vertical farms for free, and educate themselves, get the education, because they have already the national salary, so they benefit from national salary, and they have the time for that to educate themselves, to learn, write, read, and count. This is very important. And after this, they have a possibility to start to after educate them more in engineering and things like that. We have some talks with some interested people that when you educate these people, they are going out of the country to some other place. We don't see it that way, because if they already live in a country where there's a need of their work, and they get paid good pay for the salary to be, for example, engineers or teacher or whatever, why should they go to someone else? This problem is also existing everywhere. So we have that problem as well in Finland, where we have the best education in Europe, and I think it's second best in the entire world. People educate themselves, get a license and things like that, and they go to USA, or they go to other countries where they get better pay. This is a thing that always will be existing, but we don't believe that people's interest, if they get 10 or 20% somewhere else, more someone else, that the main interest is to move out from the country. We believe that many people will be staying in the country. My vision is a little bit like that people usually think that USA, Europe and Asia is the main points in the world, and people are moving between there, and Africa is down there somewhere. Let's change this vision and put Africa up there, and USA and Asia and Europe down here somewhere, that the people actually want to move to Africa. So the high educated people in Asia and Europe and USA actually want to move to Africa. So this is the vision I have for the future in Africa, because I don't see why people should move to, when they high education, move to more insecure place if they already have building up the country to a secure place. As you know, in Europe and Asia, especially China and USA, the situation is economic situation is very unstable. So there's always news about will be coming a new economic crash, and this is not good to live in a country if the economic crash comes and you're in high position, because most probably you have a mortgage or you have a lot of things to pay, and if you get the economic crash, you are pretty fast out on the streets. So we see in USA there's lots of rich people that have been in good position before, and they are living on the streets. So and this is also in Europe happened, this same things. Much of our example come from Northern Europe, that we have lots of stability in economical and social stability and education. Most from my country, because of course my country doesn't have the cashless economy yet, but is on a good way to be cashless. Sweden, for example, is stable economy. Handelsbanken, Swedish bank, was elected as one of the most stable banks in the entire globe, entire world. So we know that these countries, they are taking care of their people. They care for their people. So Sweden is a very, very good example of this, that they're caring on people. Now the latest year's issues have been that they're caring too much about other peoples than their own people. So then we're starting to have issues, but they are still working on it, and hopefully they find out a solution as soon as possible. Finland is kind of protected, because on the other side of Finland you have Russian. There's not much refugees that going to Russian. It's a closed border. Other side you have Sweden, so all come to Sweden first. So Finland doesn't have so much of the problem, but still people is complaining, because it's not used to refugees the same way as in Sweden. In Sweden there have been for 50 years refugees, and people is more used to it than in Finland. So, but I see that we are talking now 43 minutes. Explain lots of this project. Hopefully people will understand how we are going to do it, how it benefits all, how it will be benefit in Africa, and we have pretty much everything technically ready for to be able to start in Africa. What we need is, of course, funds. Now at this point, this video is done 14th of June 2019. Now at this point we are in a tricky situation, because we have to leave our place. It's a home and an office and everything is the same. So we need to leave this, and in 2 weeks we try to find funds for to be able to continue the work and find a new place. And if we do not get the funds in time, in 2 weeks time, then we are on the street, and this work will be stopped from this point of view, from here in Spain, and we will be coming back when we have the needed funds and new place to be at. In African countries, the 12 countries we're working in, they are continue, and we hopefully they are continue the best way possible. But we are now working hard to get the funds that we need for to be able to rent a new place for a year at least, and see if we can get to that point. And hopefully we get lots of people that will be support our work, because I think we are doing very important work and extremely important work. So I have been offering I'm doing too much with this. That is why the situation gone so fast and time gone so fast. So we was not prepared that we need to leave this place. I was thinking that we can stay here, and but we cannot stay here. So we need to find out very fast a new solution. And because my work in the real estate business, I have spent too much on Project Africa and less on real estate business. So now we need to find out a way to fast find out funds to be able to continue. The best will be that I could be working 100% on this and on the charity and build up this, because this need a full-time worker. Actually, this needs 3 full-time workers because we have loads of work and loads of things to do, and to get things done someday. So if you have possibility, share our donation links, our support links, our website, and if you have the possibility, you have €1 more or less, so use it to support our work. So many small will be one big. So I look at have over 500 friends on Facebook and about 8,000 on LinkedIn accounts. So if everyone give €1, then we will be in completely different situation. €1, $1. And same if everyone in Facebook will be giving $10 or 10 euro, will be also in complete different situation, because 500 per 10 make it enough for to continue. So hopefully this will be telling people how we are going to do it, and we are going to do it. The thing is that everything takes the time, and remember that we are independent from all religion, we are independent from all other organizations. We are not part of any world organization or any American organization or any Chinese or Russian organization. We are completely independent, and we want to stay independent. And we are also free from all ideological or political ideology. We are not supporting any Silk Roads or any other things. We think this is main thing, core thing to when you're going to speak with presidents or governments of companies for to start Project Africa in the countries. I think it's very important that you can tell them we are independent. We are not American. We are not Chinese. We are not anything else. That we are completely independent. So because that is a question that will be coming up, that we want to keep independent, but we need your support. So if you like our work, so please support us. We need urgent support. 2 weeks time to find a solution, and hopefully you can help with this. And if you cannot, spread our link, that support us page or support us link, to others, so we can possibly get things done. Okay, thank you for me now. I have lots of work to do. Thanks for watching. I see that 50 minutes is gone, and I know many in Africa has not possible to see this video, but hopefully as many as possible have possible to see this video and has possible to support our work. In Africa is the internet is very limited and very expensive. A 50-minute video can be a little bit too much for many, but hopefully as many as possible can see this. That is why we are not using any high definition video to keep the size of this video as small as possible, so as many as possible can see and support us. Thank you for me, and bye for now. Bye.